this video, I'm going to show you how to make $30,000 with a YouTube cash cow channel. Let's get started. This is what we're going to cover in this video. Are YouTube cash cow channels real? What is a YouTube cash cow channel? Why should you start a YouTube cash cow channel? How to pick a niche for your YouTube cash cow channel? How often should you post videos to your channel? How do you get more views on your videos? How can you monetize your channel? And lastly, I'm going to give you a YouTube cash cow course. So the first question is, are YouTube cash cow channels even real? Well, here is an example of a YouTube cash cow channel that I would like to show you. And yes, they are 100% real, and there are people who are making millions doing it. This channel right here is called Rebound. It has 2.66 million subscribers. Now, Rebound is bringing in approximately 37.6 million views every 30 days. So let's try to estimate how much money does Rebound actually make. Well, they're bringing 37.6 million views per month. We will assume that their RPM is anywhere from $3 to $5. So if it's $3, that's approximately $112,000 in revenue per month. And if it's $5, it's approximately $188,000 per month. Now, that's revenue, that is not profit. So how much does their video production cost? Well, Rebound posts about 3 videos per month. And I would assume that their videos don't cost more than $300 to $500 per video. So that means that if they're posting 3 videos per month at $500, their cost of production is only $1,500. Now, the high value skill in this business is, of course, coming up with the video idea, the thumbnail, the title, and the first 30 seconds of the video, which is called the video hook. So this channel Rebound right here is cash flowing at a minimum of $100,000 per month. Not bad for a YouTube cash cow channel. So you might be asking yourself, okay, what is a YouTube cash cow channel? Well, very simply, it's a media production company. Well, the first thing you need to understand is what is actually a cash cow. And a cash cow is when there is a positive cash flow in a business. In our case, our business is a YouTube channel. And if it's cash flowing positively, boom, it's a cash cow. So cash cow basically means that the cash acquired exceeds cash spent every single month or annually. Now, the process of creating these videos is outsourced and automated. You own the channel, but other people make the videos for you. And there's no need to show your face or step in front of the camera. Now you're like, okay, that's cool, but why should I start a YouTube cash cow channel? Well, YouTube is growing and it's not going anywhere. Now, if you haven't noticed, YouTube has replaced traditional media. And this is probably one of the most important things, but there is no need to be a creator, right? You just need to understand how the business works. If you are on YouTube all the time watching videos and you know all the creators and you are watching podcasts and you understand like how the videos work, what is important, you understand how the thumbnails work, the titles, the hooks, the scripts, right? If you understand the business side of it, there's no really need for you to sit in front of a camera and talk to it, because you can just get other people to fill in those gaps for you, and you can produce content without actually ever stepping in front of the camera, which is a great plus for many people who don't want to show their face or just record videos like this. Now, another great benefit of a YouTube cash cow channel is that it's a fully digital business. And this means that it can be managed from anywhere. Whether you are at home or whether you're traveling, all you need is just your laptop, internet connection, and your team is overseas, they are freelancers, they're contractors, right? Everything is digital, which is such a blessing in today's world. And lastly, this business can be registered in an offshore country. If this is something that you would be considering, then that could be a great business as well. In Sharjah, in Dubai, I'm aware that there are a lot of digital media companies there. So think about that as well. And of course, the laptop lifestyle, this idea that we've been sold. Actually, I've tried it. It doesn't really work because you're way more productive when you're kind of in the grind and when you have the studio and everything or whatever it is you're doing. But we've been sold to this idea of the laptop lifestyle. And hey, if this works for you, if you are productive this way, then you could probably do this as well, because as I said, all you need is your laptop. And if you can work by the pool with this beautiful lady in the background, then please go ahead and do that. To me, I need to work first and then I go swim in the pool. Now, let's get a little bit into the technical how-to. So a question that I get asked a lot is, George, how do I pick a YouTube cash cow niche? Okay, now this depends on two factors. Factor number one is, do you want to go for search or browse traffic? And the second factor is, what do you like? So let me actually elaborate now one by one. First thing you want to understand is the difference between search traffic and browse traffic. So search traffic is when people search for something on YouTube, your video is ranking, which means that it's at the top of the search page, and then the people just click on your video and they watch it. Okay, super simple. They search, they click, and they watch your video. Now, browse traffic is when people go to the YouTube homepage, right, which we are probably most accustomed to. Your video is being recommended by the YouTube algorithm, and then you decide to click on that video. So that's the difference between search and browse. And this is important to understand because the way you make your video, the way you title your video, is going to determine what kind of search traffic your video is going to attract. So now let's actually explore the pros and the cons for both search and browse. So let's start with search here. Now, search, the pros are there's consistent traffic and revenue. Once your video ranks, I'm telling you, it's just like a train. It doesn't stop. It keeps growing and keeps bringing you traffic and revenue, like it says here. And second of all, it's quite predictable. Once your video ranks, you can probably say that it will stay there and it will rank for a couple of years, 2-3 years, maybe 5 years. There are some videos that are ranking for 10 years. So yeah, you can see that that is the pro of search. Now, what about the cons? Well, the cons is that there's no really explosive growth. Think about it kind of just going like, up like this. It doesn't have like a hockey stick up. It just kind of goes and goes and goes, right? And the con is that most views on YouTube are actually from browse, right? Whenever you need to search for something, yes, of course, you're going to search and you're going to look for it. But most of the time when you go to YouTube, when I go into YouTube, we just kind of open up the homepage, we look at the videos that are suggested, and then we just click on them and then we watch them. Okay, so most views, like I think 70 or 80%, are from browse. And the last con here is that search is pretty slow, right? So you publish your videos, it takes time for them to rank. Once they do rank, they're gonna start bringing in traffic and they're gonna start bringing in revenue, right? So there is kind of, it's not black and white, it's both, right? Now, what about browse? Well, browse, the pros are you can go viral and your channel can literally blow up. If you're able and if you know how to make videos that can blow up, one video can basically change everything for you, okay? It's much faster growth and there is a much bigger reach. Instead of reaching just the people who are looking for something, you're actually reaching potentially a much bigger audience, okay? Now, the cons are it's much harder to execute because like I said, you need to have the YouTube game, right? You need to understand how the thumbnails work, how the titles work, how to hook a viewer, how to get them to watch the whole video through, right? Mr. Beast has been studying this his whole life, right? And he's still learning every single day. So, and it's not as predictable, right? Maybe you're posting a video and you think that it will work well, but then it flops. But then some video you might, also think that it is going to blow up and it actually does, right? So the better you get at this YouTube game, then the more predictable it's going to be. But it's much harder to execute and it's actually more expensive, right? So let's actually compare these two now, right? Now, my take on this is that, once again, it's not black and white, okay? I've had most success with search so far. And that actually happened by accident. When I was first starting out with YouTube, I was posting all kinds of different videos and I didn't realize that I posted a tutorial on Amazon dropshipping, which ranked, which is still bringing me money up until this day, which is just incredible, right? Now, the real growth is, however, with browse, right? So now me, myself, I'm slowly moving into that direction as well because I want to explode my channel. And the only way to really do that is to make content that is going to go for browse. Look at Iman Gaji, look at Sebastian Georgiou. That's exactly what they did in the past year. However, search is more beginner friendly. I would say so, right? It's cheaper to start. It's much easier to understand how to do that, right? Your kind of most valuable skill here is your topic research, right? If you can research a topic that you can kind of get into and make a good video, then you have a really good chance of ranking. So this is my take. If you have money to invest and you understand YouTube, then browse may be a good option for you. However, if you're just getting started and you just want to kind of give it a try, I would probably say go for search, right? It really depends on your situation. It's really individual. So the second factor in how to pick a YouTube cash cow niche is, what do you like? So let's say, for example, that you do decide to go for browse, okay? And you might be asking yourself, okay, I want to go for browse. What is a good niche? Okay, and there are a couple of criteria for this. First is proof of concept. Ask yourself, are there existing faceless channels doing it successfully? If yes, that's actually a really good sign because that means that the market, that audience consumes those videos, which is a good sign for you, meaning that if you make those videos, you have a chance of getting their attention as well. Study their best performing titles and thumbnails and find common patterns. So look for these faceless channels in the niche that you want to get into. Look for common patterns in thumbnails and titles, and then try to model your content around that. That's the easiest way to go about this, right? Don't try to come up with something new or reinvent the wheel. Just look at what's working, make your ideas, and then go after it. And the second thing you want to ask yourself is audience. Is there a clear audience for this subject? And how big is this audience? Would it make financial sense to you? And also, the last question you can ask here are there companies advertising in this space, right? Think about it. Sponsorships in advance. Let's say you want to go maybe for, skateboarding, okay? So how big is skateboarding? Well, from what I know, skateboarding is a pretty big niche, right? Are there companies? Yeah, there are multiple. There are plenty of companies advertising. And there are probably also faceless channels doing this. And there are probably great skateboarders out there as well. So you can see that these all factors, they kind of come together, and that what really makes a niche good, right? So yeah, don't worry too much about competition. Competition in YouTube just means that there is great demand for that. And if you make your videos different, you can capture your audience's attention. Now here's an interesting question. How often should I post videos on YouTube? And that is the wrong question to ask, because the right question to ask is, how can we produce the best videos possible? And remember, the more you post, the better you get. Now, once again, it's not black and white. At first, I would recommend you publish more videos. Why? So you can get the data, okay? Now, once you do get data about what thumbnails work, what titles work, how do you retain your audience, then you should study your data and you need to double down on what actually works. Now, question is, for example, let's say that you get the data, you do it, right? And then can you publish one great video per week? If you can, then go ahead and do that. Can you publish one great video per day? That's really hard, but if you can, then sure, go ahead. So what is really a great video for you? Answer that question and then decide, what does it take for me to produce it? Is it once per week? Is it once every 2 weeks, a month? Whatever it is, but the most important thing is the video. There is no secret algorithm that is gonna punish you for not publishing every Thursday or whatever. It helps to publish a lot because then you're building a backlog of content, right? It's all kind of supporting each other. But at the end of the day, what really matters is, of course, producing the best videos possible, right? Just don't neglect your channel. You need to work at it. Remember, the more videos you post, the better you're going to get at it. So first, volume, and then after volume, once you get the skill, the second thing you want to do is actually double down on quality. How do you get more views on your videos? That's an interesting question. And the answer to that, the short one, is make videos that more people would want to watch, right? If you're making videos for people in a really small niche, then you can only reach so many people. But if you're making Mr. Beast style videos that can reach potentially a lot of people, and a lot of people would be interested in watching that video, then there you have it, right? You're reaching more people potentially with your video. So you need to understand a couple of things. The YouTube's goal is to satisfy their users and to get them to stay as long as possible on their platform, okay? And the question you want to ask yourself is your content worth being recommended to more people? If the answer is yes, and it's unbiased, then it will be. But if it's not, then it won't. And I'm not just talking specifically about the video. I'm also talking about the title and the thumbnail and the video, right? So all of those things matter. Is your content worth being recommended to other people? Now, here is a little growth hack that I've actually been telling a lot of people lately, and I love it so much, and I want to share it with you as well. So when you're starting a brand new channel, right, and you make your first video and you really want to publish it and you really want to get the data, right, from the YouTube algorithm, pause, right, take a step back and actually produce 3-4 videos before publishing them all at the same time. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, that's a good question. And the reason you want to do that is because this is the effect that you want to get to. You want to make your videos great. And of course, when someone is going to discover your channel, right, and they're going to watch one video, what you want them to do is you want them to click through on your channel, and you want them to watch the second, the third, and the fourth video as well, right? So you want them to kind of binge watch your content. And what this is going to create is the so-called session time. So how long did the person actually spend time on YouTube? And if you're able to hook a viewer in, get him to watch one video, and then actually go to your channel and watch all the other videos, and all of a sudden that person spent maybe an hour on YouTube, in the eyes of the algorithm, or in their computer code, that is an incredible signal, and you can be almost certain that your video is going to start being pushed to more and more people. Now, how can you monetize your channel? I made a little abbreviation here, RPV, revenue per view. I think I came up with that. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. But revenue per view, think about it this way. If you are not having any external sources of monetization and you're just relying on YouTube AdSense, then your revenue per view is going to be X, for example, whatever that number is, right? But let's say, for example, that you are really smart about monetization, right? And you include some kind of a call to action in your video, and you have it, in the description, and it has a really good market fit with your audience, then that RPVX can be multiplied by a lot. And you can literally 10x your income by being smart about monetization. What would people watching your videos be interested in buying? Let's say they're watching the Rebound channel, right? And they're into sports. So maybe you can be affiliated with Nike, right? Or Adidas, I don't know. Maybe you have a channel about finance and you could promote something like Webull or any other financial service and get affiliate commission from them as well. So you have to think about that smart, right? And if you do that, you can really, really increase your income per view. Now, here is smart monetization in action. So you can see right here that I posted this video 294 days ago, almost a year ago. It has 6,000 views and it has generated me 100 euros. Now, if this is the only thing that I had, this would be exactly how much I would generate. But what I did was, for this specific video, I created a little digital mini course, and I had a call to action in my video for that course, and there was the first link down in the description. And a year later, this course has generated 6 sales for a total revenue of $582 in additional income. So you can see that I literally 6 times my earning for this video by simply thinking about it, making a little digital course, which took me maybe an extra day, plugging it in the description, making sure I have the call to action, and boom, instead of making $100, I made $700 from this single video. Now, everything that I've covered in this video is kind of the tip of the iceberg. There is a lot more that we can talk about and go in depth. And so if you want to learn much more in depth about how to start a YouTube cash cow channel, then you can check out my course. It's going to be the first link down in the description. And if you're not ready to join a paid program, I also have a free YouTube Business Academy Discord community. It's the second link down in the description. So make sure you check that out as well. It's a great community. We hold free masterminds for everybody and everybody gets to participate. Everybody asks questions and we're just a great community of engaged people who are really into YouTube. We're kind of like YouTube nerds, YouTube geeks, but we're also pretty cool as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.